That's true.
We're trying to limit our carbon emissions. He said.
Yeah. Footprint.
Yeah. CO2 and that. CO no.
Prem, bro.
That's work, man.
You should go back to the O2 on the thing on your jerseys.
Just win the Prem.
Why, man? Just win.
Remember when you had the big O and the 2?
Yeah.
What brand was that?
Nike.
Just put C at the front of it. No CO2.
What?
Makes sense.
Keeping the carbon dioxide down, man. Exactly.
All right, stop this guy talking. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Let him shoot. Back again. Where culture meets football. Today's episode. Premier League end of season review. We're keen for this episode, I think. I think it's going to be a good one. A lot of interesting opinions, perspective. It's going to be vibes.
Thank Christ. Thank Christ it's here. Thank Christ it's over.
It's your boy MJ, WAGWAN MJ. To my right.
It's your boy Denai. New intro this week. The newest member of DSS, Dark Skin Society. We move.
Jeez.
Oh my days.
Used to be what? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know how we just joined.
Officially with the man dem. Come
Certified.
on.
You know what DSS is? It's Juju J, aka the Sea Commander. Back again.
It's Bajordan, aka Mr. Europe, Mr. UEFA, Mr. Stamford Bridge. All of that today. We're running all of it for a whole month. Let's go, baby.
A whole month.
What are you saying?
Go for it, man.
Tom McLaughlin, better known as Canberra's Yaya Toure, specifically 13-14 Yaya Toure.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
What?
I thought that was used already. He hasn't used that one?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
Didn't he say Iniesta one time?
I'm liking him.
Yeah.
Pengus Tech is quickest to 1 million followers. On the way right now. Star of the show. Best personality in Australia. Pushing the world right now. Come
His
on.
intros got so boring.
I know.
Yeah, predictable.
Well, you've gotta wait.
Not mine.
Once I get to 1 mil, imagine.
How far off are you now?
Probably like 20, 30 followers.
From a mil?
Yeah, I'm close. I'm pushing.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Anybody got thoughts on that, or we just roll?
We're pushing.
We let him get away with
His
it.
we're
tweets are
pushing.
still on 4 likes, so I don't know what how the following's going, but
And all 4 of you? Come on.
Before we kick this off, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. It's all about the algorithms. We help you, you help us.
That's true.
All right, let's go. It's been an interesting season, this Premier League 2021 season. COVID. It's been weird. What are you guys' thoughts overall on the season?
hated it.
Man said hated it. Why you hate it,
I
bro?
don't care about the Premier League anymore. Premier League is the worst league in Europe by far. Boring. And we need to start doing this show only on Bundesliga. No, actually, La Liga in France only. Now that Juve aren't good, maybe Italy. Just ditch the Premier League, I reckon. But
Yo, bud, what are you saying, bro?
Jesus, man. Why are you saying that, but? It's only because Arsenal are coming last.
That's why Arsenal
Out
didn't
of
come
top
last.
6. UEFA unfollowed them.
Out of the top 6.
Everything is, bro, imagine UEFA. I'm clicking that thing. You know when like you have people on your friends and like you go through your list and it's like, oh, I don't really talk to this person anymore. Pop. That's what UEFA did to Arsenal.
Yo, allow it, man. We're gonna win the Premier League.
Now
Come
every
on.
time you message him, you have to see requests and then accept first before they get back to you. And you know you can view the message, the whole message, on the request and choose not to say seen. That's probably what they're doing now.
How's he thought
So
of
yeah,
that?
it's a good year. It's a good year actually. It's a good year to answer the question.
Where'd you finish, man? Where'd your team finish?
We finished with the UEFA Champions League medal, baby.
He's got the medal.
I don't have the medal. I just-
it's the Ryan Brewster one.
Mr. UEFA.
What about in the Prem, bro?
You happy
Same
with
Champions
fourth?
League.
250 mil?
4th is a good season.
What?
For Chelsea?
For 250 mil?
Well, I'm not talking about the money wise. I'm saying
I am.
we made top 4. We won Champions League.
We're not talking about
We're
Champions
It's a
gonna
League.
be
Premier League review, remember?
I know,
We're not talking about
But
Champions League.
we just have to make top 4 every year, and that's okay.
So you reckon Abramovich spends 250 mil to make top 4 every year?
Yeah.
Before the season started, you were saying top 4 is good? No
Yeah.
way.
100%.
That's cap.
What?
You
top
weren't saying
two,
that.
Top 2, there's no difference.
What did you
between
finish
top 2
last
and
year?
top 4.
Third?
Yeah.
You finished third and you think finishing fourth this season, you're happy with that? No way.
Well, if it was on the last day, like, we couldn't control it.
You don't
Aston Villa
think
were just better
you
than
finished
us.
third. You finished third. Lampard gets his second season.
Yep.
You spend 250 mil
Yep.
and you think finishing fourth is fine for Chelsea.
We had the best record against the top 6 teams.
What the hell does that
doesn't matter in
mean
the grand scheme
anything?
of the whole season.
End of the day, it was a good year, yeah? Next person.
Tom, what's your...
Considering how the first 2 months went, centre backs and everything, I think third is pretty decent. And there was a point there where I thought that we would probably come about 7th.
Yeah, definitely.
We'd lost like 5 or 6 home games in a row. We were looking shaky. Our front 3 weren't scoring. And then, what was it, 8, 9 games in a row? The back end of the season was
the last 10 games, won 8, drew 2.
incredible turnaround. I think I don't really know what happened.
I think if you look at different points in the season and compare it at the end, then it's successful, I guess. But at the start of the year, we're not saying Liverpool finishing third is successful, but when you look at it properly, all
Yeah,
3
of course.
first-team centre-backs injured. We missed Fabinho for a large period of the season, Thiago for a large period, Hendo for a large period, Salah for different periods.
Couple games.
So I think it's definitely successful. Finished ahead of Chelsea.
It's successful
yeah.
considering all these things.
Yeah.
But if you came to me at the start of the season saying that we'd finish third, I wouldn't be happy with third. But considering what we just spoke about,
Arsenal boys, let me hear it.
Yeah.
Let's hear.
there's 3 of you.
'Cause
So
I
Let's
know-
flip the page back onto you guys.
I know we're gonna definitely get into Arsenal a bit later on, but just like initial thoughts, like how you feeling? Season's over. You finished 8th. You're booty. Got a
Aubameyang 3 goals.
Arteta's still there.
No Champions
What are you
League.
thinking?
Arsenal are trash.
It's not good enough.
You guys are sad now, huh?
I'm not sad. Arsenal are just trash. They got no style of play. You've got 15 centre backs, no midfield, and our front line, we don't even know what our starting 11 is. So you got Chambers playing right back at its peak. Arsenal are dead.
15 centre backs, and I seen Rob Holding play. Nice, nice.
It's crazy. They had the whole Brazilian national team. And they still couldn't win games.
Jeremy was trying to tell me Pablo Mari's good. Played about
Yeah.
4 games.
Pablo Mari's good.
Pablo Mari's good.
But tell me that thing that's
Then
wrong
why
with
doesn't he
Arsenal.
play?
Do you know what it is?
Which one?
That thing that's wrong with them. That Laka, Orba,
Oh,
Rob Holding, Gabriel, they all have in common.
oh, their hairlines.
Yeah, that's what it is, I think.
So
All of them
airlines.
Dead hairlines, bro.
Oh,
Now they're not in Europa League. They're not going to go to Turkey. Can't get it fixed.
Bro,
Move your fringe up. Move your fringe up. Yeah, move it up all the way. Yeah, that's what I thought.
all Arsenal's hairlines as far back as their
Position on the table. I got you.
That's it,
Come
man.
on. I got you, man.
But we'll connect that.
Arteta out, man. I'm sick of this.
IT people connect
I was
that.
Arteta out in December. I was Arteta out in February. I'm Arteta out. I'm still Arteta out. I can't pick the same lineup. He doesn't know our best team. It's all of his signings were made at the start of the season. He didn't inherit a team, and he still doesn't know the best lineup come the end of the season. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
my thing is, Emery left Arsenal, won a title straight away.
Yo.
So maybe it's the club. Maybe there's something happening at Arsenal where managers, players come to the team and just turn off. I think Wenger has something to do with it. He liked African dudes. Maybe he learned a bit of, bit of juju in there.
Cursed them
He was
on the
like,
way
"Ah,
out."
you want me out? Ah, the club's finished,
Nah, it has to
So,
be Kroenke got to go.
Honestly,
Kroenke.
I don't know what it is.
Kroenke's a problem.
For those who don't know who Kroenke is, can you please?
The waste man owner lives in America, never at the Emirates. They got a son running the thing. Josh, he's also needs to leave the club. Who's the Spotify guy?
Daniel.
Whatever his name is, buy the club.
It's a bit thing to keep blaming the owners, but
Nah, the owners,
they're spending money the last few seasons.
They're not on payment plans.
Yeah, but you're spending the money. You're still buying players that you want to sign, and when you're signing them, you're like, wow, these guys are going to make a difference. He's putting them.
No, Kroenke needs to leave. Edu needs to leave.
So you think if them two leave, you're gonna win?
But we're in the Prem next year. If we sign 4,000 players.
Clip that.
Clip.
I need someone to clip that.
Just
now.
the only we're winning the
And
Prem
send it
next
to
year.
me.
Oh man.
If we sign, if Twitter's telling the truth, and we sign all these players we're chatting to,
Who are you in for?
You guys say this every year as well.
that's what I'm trying to tell
But
you.
even you're signing the players that you're in for.
Yeah,
The last
You
couple
signed
seasons,
Partey, average.
you signed Pepe.
You signed Pepe, average.
I don't know. I can't
Pepe's
judge,
quality.
bro. Pepe's quality. I can't judge part of his season. Like he was injured for most of it. He didn't play. He didn't have a partner to play with.
But you're still signing the players that you're after. You're signing them.
We at the end of the day, we
Yeah,
still
one.
have, like, William.
One, a transfer window when the whole squad needs an overhaul.
Yeah.
You think signing one every year is going to make the team better?
Yeah, but you're coming into these seasons with expectations that aren't you're going to finish in these low positions.
I agree
This
with
season
That's
coming.
why we sat here and said terrible season.
That's what I'm saying. So
what's
how
your
can
point now?
how can it be the owner? That's what I'm saying. It can't be the owner if
It's
you're
the club. It's the club. It's a whole club needs an overhaul. The whole club.
If you had to pinpoint what the problem is, what is it? Like just one thing that you think if this changed, like it'll flip Arsenal and
I
maybe
think
they'll
it's a
finish
combination
top
of a
12.
few things.
I agree. We need new owner. We need new coach. And we need new signings.
I also think it's a player mentality. I feel like for some reason, some players just, it's almost like they don't play to win. They just play to,
They're getting a free ride.
yeah, you know,
In a
I'm
fancy
getting paid
car.
nice.
Well, what do you guys mean new
Sing
signings?
well, you know.
Tuchel didn't sign anyone, and
He
look
couldn't
at
sign
Chelsea.
anyone.
Yeah, but
That's
I'm
what-
just saying.
You can't land that. He couldn't sign anyone.
Yeah, but he's changed the team.
Yeah, he's
changed the way they play.
It's the team he like came into, did
Yeah,
nothing.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
why I said we needed
But-
a new owner.
But you guys say new
technical director.
need
and
new signings.
I know Chelsea's not talking about
About
what do you mean
signings.
new signings and new coach.
You
I
guys
know,
get a
but
new
like,
coach every
you guys
year.
get a new coach every time, and you're saying it's
We've only
him.
had 3 coaches in the last 30 years, so it's not a new every time.
But after like Wenger, I think you guys had the most
But
new
Emery,
coaches.
Lundberg doesn't count, and that was a void filler.
Yep.
What
And
about Teta? So 2.
Yeah,
When it came out to Man United, when it came out to Chelsea, don't land.
I'm talking about Arsenal. we comfortably finished in the top 4. You guys didn't.
With new coaches every year, this is what I'm saying. So if we sacked our coach, we'd be higher. Who knows?
Who knows?
Right,
Who knows?
let's talk about the winners now. Man City. What made them good this year?
Depth.
Depth?
Squad depth.
Definitely.
Depth. Is that the number one? Are we saying that's number one reason? Squad depth.
Number
think so.
two.
And their defense.
Number 2, Ruben Diaz.
What made them win the league this year? Depth, I think, because they were always going to compete.
And it felt like at times they didn't even need to depend on anybody to win them games.
They
It was
didn't.
like whoever's starting, we can win the game with this starting team. It wasn't like, you know, we needed our nine's going to win us the game or our right forward's going to win us the game. It was like whoever we've got, we'll get a result. And I think that's
I
why
agree.
maybe so many players scored
Yeah,
a
exactly.
handful of goals as opposed to like 2 or 3. You know, they had
Yeah,
what,
exactly.
6 or 7 players on 7+ goals. No, 5 or 6 players,
Yeah.
7+
They didn't
goals.
even have a striker for like the whole season.
They played.
Yeah, man.
That's also Pep changing the style, adapting. They played without a 9, which no team does.
Liverpool.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but no recognised.
Yeah,
Nine.
but they played without even a false
Liverpool.
9.
All right.
Limo was a flop. Scruff, what do you think? You said Pep was what?
I'm just saying, overrated.
Yeah, you said Pep was overrated, yeah.
Yeah. Do you see what happened overnight?
Man,
Yeah.
He had a howler, but
Yeah, rest my
he
case.
wanted- he wanted
Rest
to-
my case.
It's not a
and then
howler.
It's,
Yeah,
just
it's-
the club you
it,
guys-
it also shows when Cancelo can have his best half of the season he's ever had, has a couple average games. You bring in Zinchenko, just as good. Or you bring in Walker on the right-hand side, just as good.
Yeah, Walker. I'll land Walker.
Mahrez
It's
has a bad
crazy.
game. Bring in Bernardo Silva.
Mhm.
Like they have so much depth. It's crazy.
Yeah, their depth is crazy. That's what separates them from every team. They have 2 players that could start for any team in every position.
They have 2 9s that would start for almost every team except for maybe Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And they sit on the bench, both of them.
Who would you say are their 2 most influential players in the side?
For this year.
This year?
I think.
I think Gundogan would be one for me in the league,
And
and Diaz
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
the other.
so easy.
Or even Mahrez, close second. Like you could, if someone said Mahrez, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be like, oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I
been
agree.
great again.
I agree, definitely.
The turning point was definitely Diaz.
I think so.
And Stones
I
just
think so,
leveled up.
yeah.
Them two had that partnership and it just did levels.
Yeah.
But they didn't start off that well.
That's what I'm saying.
They
Yeah.
didn't start off that well. Like
Yeah.
mid-season, when we did mid-season review.
Yeah, but when
They-
Diaz came in because it was an extended transfer
Transfer window,
So Diaz came in late.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They had lost like 3 games, maybe a couple draws, and they were sitting around 8th,
8th.
Yeah.
maybe.
8.
Diaz comes in,
Because Tottenham was winning the
Turns
league.
them
though,
around.
weren't
And Laporte was injured at the start.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
and Nathan Ake was playing. Then he comes in and they
But it's just
concede 1
crazy
goal in
that
10 games or something.
they can spend 50 mil on Nathan Ake and he doesn't play. No one knows where he is. He plays
He
every
was on the
he
bench.
plays every 5 games and no one says a single word about it.
Yeah.
What are you going to
crazy.
say?
About them being able to sign players
For big
50 mil
money.
and it just go unnoticed. No one's remembering next season in the transfer market that they bought Ake
Because
for
they do a
50
lot of
mil.
deals between 40 and 60.
Mm.
Their biggest spend is Rodri on like 63 or something like that. They're not spending 80 or 100 on anyone.
Mm.
They're buying 2 players for 50.
2
or 3 players.
They come and they just sit on the bench every single time.
Yeah, but that's why their squad is so
That's why their
good.
squad's-
Their squad is.
But I mean, if
their
the
squad
players-
is filled with 50 and 60 million pound players.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If these players are willing to go there and sit on the bench,
They know they're going to win. That's
Yeah,
the
man.
thing.
then
That's-
Pep's
you
selling
can-
the dream. He's
That's
Selling
selling,
another
buy
thing.
into
What's
it.
going on there? How can you be happy sitting on the bench?
he's selling the
personally, I
dream.
couldn't do that.
I think
There's something going on.
I think they can see that he rotates enough
Yeah.
that they're going to play.
They have a lot of
You get a
games.
sniff.
They have a lot of games. They get to like the
They-
semi-final
yeah.
or final of every cup competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So that's
Big
how many
facts.
games. FA Cup, they made the semi-final. Champions League final.
The
Won the
League
Carabao
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah.
Prem.
Then you got nearly 40 games in the Prem.
Then next year they'll have like the same amount of games, if not.
Mm-hmm.
I got a
No.
question. What do they need to do to win the league next year? Do they bring in new signings or do they just maintain what they got?
I think they need signings.
They need to recognize.
Not they don't
goal
need
scorer.
signings, but they need signings if they want to be dominant as
Yeah.
dominant as they
Need to
have been.
replace- They have to play with a recognised striker next year.
I think
have
they
to.
come in with a big signing. I think they will.
I think they come in for
Everyone
Kane.
knows, I think, that if they go into next year making no signings, they're still going to compete for 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like they can go into next year with signing no one, even Aguero leaving, and they'll still compete for 1 and 2. But if they want to be dominant as they have been in every competition, then a striker, I think, definitely. Maybe another forward player, maybe another midfielder. You don't know because Fernandinho's older.
Fernandinho, yeah, but he just signed a new deal.
Mm.
1 more year, I think.
Just keep signing deals.
1 more year deals. That's all he does.
Mm.
But he's good enough.
Yeah, he is.
Still holds
He's
it down.
certainly good enough.
Yeah, he holds it down.
No.
Very good, boys. All right, then let's talk about some of the biggest surprises this season in terms of players, biggest disappointments. What are we saying? Who was good? Who was really bad that we didn't expect to?
I think one of the most
To me, that
obvious surprises of the year was West Ham
Jesse Lingard.
with
sir.
with their average squad.
The whole team is.
Their whole team is
There's not one single
Average.
player that sticks out as being a top level Premier League
and you
player.
come
Not
fifth.
one.
You come above Arsenal, above Tottenham, above Everton,
And that's
Like,
a turnaround from the
It's
season.
insane.
like 5th,
They
and they were
almost got
in the top
relegated.
4 for a while.
Yeah.
They almost got relegated
Yeah.
last year.
That's what's so impressive.
They were challenging for a top 4 spot, and it was
Yeah.
a genuine challenge.
It annoys me so much.
They just got this geezer Antonio
I
running
can't.
around up
See,
front.
see, that's what I don't
Deckers.
get. What's stopping Arsenal from being that, from even competing for a top 4 spot when teams like West Ham can turn around from almost being relegated
mentality.
to then to then, is it the coach? Is David
Style
Moyes?
of play,
Is David Moyes
mentality.
this amazing coach that can turn a almost relegation bound side into a European football?
I think it is
club
easier
side?
when you have players who aren't as good to try and play to their strengths.
And when there's no expectation.
Yeah. Whereas like teams like Arsenal, you know that everyone in the Arsenal team is good and is quality, and the coach can say, all right, I want to play like this. I can get my players to play like this because they're good.
Yeah.
But when you don't have players who are very good, you say, all right, Antonio, you're good at only doing this. Go run.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how
But do you think that's the coach's fault not adapting a style that would just get them into the top
for Arsenal,
top four for Arsenal?
in a way, sure.
I don't think you
But
can
you can't do
cement
that.
a place as a good team just playing like that though. Yeah, it could work for 1 year. But I
Yeah,
don't think West Ham are going to...
Sure.
I think everyone goes into the expectations for next year and nobody is saying West Ham's making top 4. Not
No.
one
Yeah,
person.
definitely.
So I think, yeah, maybe it's got them this far and it's good, but ultimately if teams want to be successful and make top 4, they're going to try and play a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think West Ham were...
They did kind of
Impressive.
this season. They did kind of play.
I don't know.
It wasn't chip and chase.
It wasn't chip and chase, but
I
it's
think
not
they
like
were
nice.
extremely
It was very
direct.
football.
They were
It's very
extremely
direct.
direct.
Yeah.
I was never ever watching West Ham being like, this is a nice game to watch. This is good football.
Yeah.
Never, not once.
Mm.
I think they had solid players who knew what they were good at, and they played extremely direct, and things were happening. Lingard was scoring goals. Like
Yeah.
things
that
were
aren't
just
meant to
going for
happen
them.
happened.
Suchek was just scoring goals after goals after goals.
Yeah.
He finished on, I think, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
He was top goal scorer for West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Jay Links? Can he sustain this form, or is that
No.
just a...
If Jay Lingard goes to the Euros with England, it shows how much of a joke England are, how much of a joke the FA is.
The FA.
My God. This guy, if Jay Lingard goes to the fucking Euros, Joe Willock has to go to the Euros as well. And they need to stay in the same room because they've done the exact same thing. There's no way one's better than the other. Joe
Is
Willock's
it fair
done
that
more.
he's going to the Euros? Like,
Going
based
to
on
the
form?
Euros.
Absolutely not.
Based on form,
Based on
sure.
form, that's what I mean.
What
like,
form?
A
You
football
can't
tournament, yeah?
perform for 8 games, 7 games, and you should go to a tournament
But he's
when
already
you've had
played
2 years
that
of
many
lead up.
games, but he hasn't played a whole season.
That's
his
I don't
own
understand
fault.
whose fault that is.
Okay, when you go to a tournament, yeah, if you're a coach and you go into it, you're picking the squad for a tournament. Are you picking the most informed players? What are you like? What are you doing? What's your
If you-
selection
if
criteria?
you're
Or is it a
England, you're
2-year
not.
window, like
If
you
you're-
said?
Yeah, or is it a 2-year window?
I think it's
Donnies that were good 2 years ago aren't making my squad if they're not informed.
I
yeah,
think
but
it
Raheem
depends who the
Sterling's still
players-
making your squad.
Yeah, for me, he shouldn't start though.
He's making your squad
Exactly. So why shouldn't Jesse Lingard?
because he's performed for maybe 8 or 7 games in the space of 2 years.
So when he plays for England, he does well.
Does he?
Yes.
He was alright at
Played in
last
the
World
Euros.
Cup.
Start the last World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think he
he's-
should
I
go.
think he
Yeah,
scored
he
a
scored
goal.
against Honduras.
Yeah, I think he scored 1 goal.
He scored a
He
banger.
did, he
as
did
well.
the shoot, and then what?
That was nice.
Nothing.
The
Then
whole
what?
team was razzling.
He went back to Man U, and then what?
Razzlers. That whole team was razzlers.
Absolutely
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. Yeah,
Mm.
when Jay Lings has been given a chance to play football in the last 2 years, has he overperformed? Has he performed to a sound level, or has he underperformed?
He's
Sound.
overperformed in terms of statistics and output. But if you're
I don't know
genuinely
if he has. If you look at the whole 2 years,
No,
you can't
but-
tell me that.
yeah, I don't know
If you can tell me
when he
that
played.
Lingard at United didn't play at all, and these are the only games he's playing,
He
then
was
yes.
shit.
he didn't play a
But
single
I
game
think
this
he's
season.
played.
He didn't play
Yeah,
a single
he
game
has.
this season. For
Not
Man
this
U.
season, yeah. But last year,
But the
he would have
previous 2
played
years,
Cup.
Yeah.
He would
was
have played Europa,
bad.
whatever they were in, and wouldn't have done a thing.
But yeah, I think it's obvious why he wasn't given the opportunity at Man U because he wasn't good enough. But he's come to West Ham in a system where he's allowed all the freedom in the world to perform. He's not playing. He's
And then-
not playing well.
Again, no expectation.
Yeah,
But if
no
he's performing-
If he's
expectations.
performing, like what?
In terms of him scoring, yes, he's performing.
I can
But
tell you he's done
really,
more than just scoring goals.
nah, he was
This guy's
not.
track-
You don't
back
think he's
as well,
lifted
man.
the team at all?
He's definitely made a. He's had
I
a
think
big
he's had an impact. Yeah, I think he's had an
big
impact based off him scoring. I
Which
think.
also means Joe Willock should go to the Euros.
If that's what
For
we're saying.
Newcastle, he's had a massive impact.
Avoided
Player of the
relegation.
month. Scored 8 in 8 or 9 in 9.
Isn't he a midfielder as well?
Oh,
They don't get relegated. He scores every single game.
more open play goals than a certain someone.
You know what? Put Joe Willock in the squad.
Is he in the
We need more
provision?
Arsenal Donnies in
But the thing
squad.
is, then it's just like it's just shit. You're just
I think if people are in form and it's a tournament, I'm not saying they have to go in, but I'm saying it's a fair reason if they get into the
But
squad.
these guys don't have the quality of the players that they're going to beat to make the squad.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But I think it's just hard for me to say that they don't deserve it, just because if people are doing well, sometimes in tournaments, that one person who's just feeling confident is that the kind of player that's going to bring in those results. But I do agree with your point that doesn't mean they'll do well in a bigger stage, a tougher competition, So it's a weird one. It's a weird
If
one.
you're in form and there's room for you in the squad, you're considered. You have to be considered.
You have to be considered, sure.
Yeah, but
Especially if you've been playing before.
has
They
he?
should make him do
Yes.
Mortal Kombat.
Has Lingard been playing before?
Yes.
He's been playing since January.
Yeah, before this little stint he's had at West Ham.
But I'm saying no. I'm saying I'm basing it purely off January to now.
So that's your window, 6 months.
But is Jay Lingard going to the... I don't know why I was still talking about Lingard. But is he going to the Euros and starting?
No, he's not. I'm
So
not
then
saying.
fucking don't take him. He's not doing anything. He's going for the bench. You can just take other players who are way more...
Yeah, but who has 6 celebrations? No one.
All right, what are our thoughts about Bam God?
He should have been in the squad.
Bro, you got robbed.
Was he hard?
Premier League season. This Premier League season.
Are you saying he's one of your big surprises for the...
Yeah.
Yeah, he has
Big
to
time,
be.
Big time.
Yeah.
Bamford.
Wait, first game of the season, I'm like, this guy's gonna get taken off at halftime. That's what I was thinking.
Scored. And then scored, yeah.
And he's impressed me. His game overall. Yeah. Sorry, Sammy.
No. Coming into the season, everyone his only criticism was he can't score. He doesn't have the goals to play in the Premier League as a number 9. He doesn't have the finishing touch, which he's not one of the best finishers. He still scored 17 goals this season.
Yeah.
And he was part of an extremely, extremely good Leeds team, and they did way better than I thought they would do. And they're my biggest surprise team. I think everyone knew they were going to be exciting in terms of the football they were playing, but not to the level that they performed to.
Scored more goals than Calvert-Lewin. Just
Yeah, and
quietly.
didn't they sign Rodrigo? What's his name?
Rodrigo.
Yeah, at the start of the year
Yeah.
to kind of be like...
To replace him.
Yeah,
To be the goal
he's
scorer.
benched him.
And then Rodrigo played in midfield most of the times he came on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
played 10 a lot. No, I love Bamford. Great season.
Wonderful.
Absolutely great. Oh,
Far,
who was
far
mine?
better.
Hashtag
Good
we got
shout,
robbed,
MJ.
bro.
Oh, my biggest surprise. Oh, West Ham and Bamford.
Oh yeah.
Those are the two.
Nice, man.
Come on.
I was going West Ham, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They shouldn't be there, but they would.
They shouldn't be there at all.
They shouldn't be there.
They've got
They
some of
don't
the
want us
worst
to be
players I've
here.
ever seen. And,
They did their thing.
you have to be a good coach.
They did their
He has
The
to
fact
be.
that Rice is their best player.
It's
What's wrong with that, man?
Oh, sorry.
Decades is good.
You guys got a.
Deckers.
Nobody calling them that.
Bud said Deco.
Deckers, but take the T out of Techers, put D.
What?
Deckers. Man's got Techers, man.
Nice, man.
I'm going to keep saying
Bud
this.
just said Declan Rice has Techers.
It's got D's.
I've said it in the previous episodes as well. Episode 3, I think it was.
But who was your biggest surprise, man?
West Ham.
Yeah,
Damn.
easy. Yeah,
We should have coordinated this.
Move the hell on. Move on. Yeah, move on.
All right, what do we... Leicester. Let's talk about Leicester.
In terms of
Bottle jobs.
How do we feel? Did they bottle?
I don't think they
Is
bottled.
there something wrong with
No,
them?
no, it's not Leicester. It's not
Is it
Leicester.
the manager?
It's hard
It's
for
the
me.
manager.
It's
It's not
hard
the
for me
manager.
because
It's Brendan Rodgers, bro. He's done it for years.
And he's a
Liverpool,
parasite.
Don't let this slip. He's let his team.
Who
slip.
let them slip at Liverpool?
The
Was
second-
it Brendan Rodgers?
the
No.
Stevie G.
The second greatest Liverpool.
It
captain of all
wasn't. They
time.
bottled 2 games where they shouldn't have
Stevie
lost,
G.
playing the
All
exact
I'm
same lineup
saying-
they played all year. It can't be the
Chelsea
manager's
game,
fault.
he set us up incorrectly.
No, the same players. Palace, same players. You blew a 2-0 lead and drew 3-0 with Palace.
3-0.
3-0 lead
worse.
and drew 3-0 with Palace. Last year, they lose on the final day to United, right?
Can't remember.
they had to
remember
win
they
that.
lost.
They had to
game.
win. It can't be the coach. You get this far to the point where you're overachieving with your squad.
I think they're overperforming, and that's the hard thing for me because they shouldn't have been second or whatever
That's
it was
what I
for
think it is.
15 weeks.
Because they spent the
Squad's
most
not that
time in
good.
the
That's what I'm saying. You're
Yeah.
overachieving, and so therefore your manager cannot be to blame for losing it on the last day when he's setting out a
happened so many
team that's
times.
consistent with the team they've played all year. If he made drastic changes, yeah, cool, but it's consistent, and they're bottling it. They're bottling it,
Let's not forget.
and also they won FA Cup, so it's a
Yeah.
good season for Leicester.
Yeah.
But this is a Premier League review. But let's not forget, Leicester had the most injuries out of any team this season. They still performed. They still were in the top 4 for the most amount of time this season. Yes, when you look at the end, 3 or 4 games to go, it's like they've bottled it, which they did. But if you look at the start of the season, not even including these players are going to get injured, they've overachieved. They've finished 5th. It's a good season for Leicester, finishing 5th.
It is.
I think it is a good season as well.
That's fair.
It's a good season, but I still think Brendan Rodgers.
The issue is if you sit in the top 4 for that long and don't make it, you're
Yeah,
going to
exactly.
be
That's the
looked at
thing.
as if you bottled it.
That's a great point.
But they shouldn't be in the
if
top
you-
4 is what we're all
If you
saying.
give them 5th at the start
a
of the
great point.
year, they probably take it.
Definitely.
Yeah. I
think
don't know
so.
what their belief is, but
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
I would say if I was Leicester, you're taking 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, I think the manager's putting them in the situation where they're able to make the top 4. And I think it only comes down to the inexperience of the players and the players not being able to handle it when it comes to the big games that decide whether or not they're going to make the top 4. So I don't think it's the manager. I think he's built a great team. They play nice football. And I think it's just the players really at the end of the day.
That's fair.
My biggest disappointment was between 2 teams and 2 coaches. One team more so, Arsenal.
No, that was mine.
That was
Biggest
mine.
It's a no-brainer.
disappointment.
I have another team, but that was my number one.
I have another team as well. Arsenal, I think we've gone in on them, but we can still do it.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, start it, man.
Continue.
Arteta
'cause-
out, obviously, as I said before.
Tronke
We don't
out.
have a lineup.
Edu out.
We
Arteta
play
out.
different players every
I like hearing
every week, every match week. We have a different starting 11, different players playing in different positions. It doesn't make sense. You can't have any consistency as a team
Saka
if you're
can't
playing
be
a
best
different
player.
11.
And a dependence on like the youth as well.
It with Smith Rowe, like second half of the season starting pretty much every big game. Saka first half of the season starting every big game, rotating out other players underperforming. Like you're awful. You're literally awful.
Guardiola to me shows how, and even Wenger to a degree, like Wenger as well actually, they show how you actually guide and support your youth players or your young players coming into your sides. You can't play them week in, week out and then have a level of expectation that they're supposed to win you games. They're supposed to get you out of trouble. They're your go-to. That can't happen because I think the fear that I have with Arsenal now is those 2 guys might be, in too deep now. Because now all the stupid fans think they have to win us games. They've got to play well. And then when they don't play well, there's so much hate towards them young guys when they need to be nurtured. They need to, maybe start one game, the next game, play 30 minutes. Slowly adjust to playing first team football and having that, because it's just too much.
In what world is 17, 18, 19-year-olds being relied on that much?
Yeah. Game in, game
Getting
out.
abused
This
as
is
well.
this is their first proper seasons,
Yo,
and they're being relied on.
Let's Wheeler back. The team is just bad.
Oh, I also want to bring something up, actually.
Go right ahead, man.
At the end of last season, when Arteta was hired, the thoughts, let's say, all right, you guys won the FA Cup, right?
Yep.
Great performances. Defensively, like solid, strong. Beat City. You beat Liverpool at home in the league. You guys were winning games, finishing off the season strong. You won Community Shield coming into the season. You won the first game of the season.
Sorry about that, silverware. You wouldn't know anything about that this year.
First game of the season. You won the first game of the season. Then your thoughts. Surely your thoughts are at Arsenal are making top 4 this year. Arsenal look good. They look strong. They look solid. Then you sign Thomas Partey. You're thinking, wow, this is that season. All that to then now look at the table. 8th.
You know what I did? First game of the season, I bought a ticket to the final game of the season because I'm like, we're going to the top. That's exactly what I thought.
Oh my days.
Arsenal had 13 losses this season.
It's embarrassing.
13.
I'm telling you, the team sucks.
It's a team selection.
It's there's no consistency.
What were we talking about, Jeremy, about if Wenger had this side?
I'm telling
where
you,
it'd be?
we witnessed some of the worst players ever when
Do
we moved
better.
to the Emirates.
Do better.
from I reckon 07, 08 to 13, 14, some of the worst players were playing for Arsenal. Johan Giroud, Squalaci,
Sylvester.
Shamak,
Yeah, no, it's a no go.
Sonogo, Yao Kouassi,
Left back,
Bentner.
Flamini,
What's that?
Bentner,
The left back.
Andre Santos.
That's him.
Wow. Some of the worst players ever, and we were consistently finishing top four without it. You could just know Arsenal top four. We used to get bullied because all we did was finish top four. Now we've got probably the best squad we've had in the last 15 years, and we're absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Look at our squad on paper. You should be finishing top four if you have a decent.
Also, against like this season in particular, you know, the teams that are in the top 6, surely we should be much better than that. So
One of the biggest disappointments as well, let me just add.
It's a Aubameyang.
Let me just say this.
But if I just say this, whose jersey did you buy at the start of this season?
Saliba.
Where's Saliba? How many games did he play for Arsenal this
On
season?
loan.
Has he played a game?
0.
Played 0.
He didn't
Wow.
play a single game for Arsenal this season. He recorded more videos than he had highlights on the field.
Jeez, man.
You thought coming into this season, I know him,
not my
definitely.
fault.
He
Can't be
thought
my fault.
Saliba, this guy, he always said, next year we have Saliba. Next year we have Saliba. He's going to be great.
Guess what?
What happened to
Next
him?
year we have Saliba.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think so? You think he's going
This
to play
can't be
now?
my fault.
Bro, you think he's coming
of
back?
course he's gonna play.
That Saliba jersey is going straight to the bin.
This can't be my fault. It's going to be worth a lot soon.
It's going to be worth nothing.
My
They
other
did-
biggest disappointment to get off Arsenal
Aubameyang. Oh,
is which a team who hasn't copped anywhere near as much
Yeah.
as Arsenal, and they were literally tipped to do so well.
Tottenham.
World class manager, blah blah blah. Everton.
Oh, shit.
Everton
Yeah.
spent so much money. They got in a coach who has won everything, and they finished 10th.
Yo.
10th.
Hold up.
Whoa.
Yo.
Ancelotti, world class manager. They got DCL, Player of the Year DCL.
James,
Alan.
Hammer's biggest waste of space. They signed Alan Doucouré. Digne was on form. They got Richarlison playing well. 10th.
They finished 10th.
No major injuries that I can remember.
Calvin Lewin
10th.
had the best season he could possibly have.
Bro, he was
And they
scoring.
finished 10th. This guy is shit. Calvin Lewin is shit.
Thank you.
and Richarlison
Hummers-
is shit.
Hummers
as
doesn't
well.
ever deserve
I
to be
like
in any
Richarlison.
conversation.
No, Richarlison
Hey,
is shit.
to be honest,
single digit goals
he got pushed
again.
out to the wing for DCL.
He's a winger.
He's
a
not a
winger.
winger. I don't think he's a winger.
I
think
like,
he's a
I
striker.
like Richarlison.
I think he's a
I like
striker.
him.
Underperformed.
He's
I rate him.
shit.
I think he's a number. I think he's more of a number.
I think he can
9.
do bits. Better manager.
But no one even
Nah, you
cares
can't say
about
better
Ancelotti
manager.
anymore.
He's in the best team he's ever played in.
Yeah. And James, absolutely awful. I don't want to
Garbage.
hear it from anyone who thinks
Absolutely.
James.
I thought
First
he
half
was
of the
gonna be
season.
But he
better.
started good. He started,
He started
well,
very
innit?
well.
Yeah, he played that good game against Tottenham at the start of the year. They won, and then I haven't seen him.
Also, Everton were losing against small teams at the end of the season.
The
And
small
no one said
team-
anything.
They finished 10th. They finished under Arsenal with a better manager.
Southampton and that were like beating them 3-1 and stuff.
And let's not forget how much Everton spent. They were spending so much money. The last couple seasons, they've been spending money.
They got a lot of money.
Where
They got a new
from?
Stadium on the way.
They've spent money. Pickford
They've
30 mil, Michael Keane 30 mil, Yerry Mina 30 mil, Andre
Digne,
Gomez 30 mil,
Yeah.
Got
Jesus.
free as well, innit?
Alan, Doucouré,
Iwobi.
Awobi,
They're
Ford
spending
Walcott.
reckless
They
money.
got for free, but still. Then they got rid of him.
They're spending reckless money on players who have not performed at any circumstance.
They buy
at
like
any
6
level.
replacement strikers a year.
Remember they signed
Tosun, Nias.
He's doing.
They got Josh King on loan from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yo,
What about Kane? Was Kane there?
Michael Keane.
They're just trying to sign light-skinned dudes who don't
what's that guy who
perform.
went to PSG.
Oh, Moise Keane, they bought for 40 mil and
Yeah.
now got rid of him.
They got rid of him and he scored like
And he's like,
20
yeah.
goals for PSG.
dyed his hair pink and stuff.
They're
Oh,
terrible.
man, I hear that take too. I see
Everton
that
are a
take.
That's a
joke.
great
Also,
shout.
did anyone have Tottenham?
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Surely.
Nah, but see, I expect Tottenham to be shit. They're called shit Spurs, so I don't.
Bro,
Tottenham finished ahead of Arsenal the last 5 seasons in a
Yeah,
row.
but that's
is it?
not hard. Arsenal are peak.
Yeah. And no silverware. So.
It's so easy for you to say your team is so bad.
It's annoying.
What am I going to
It's
say?
annoying. I
annoying.
want to
Where were you
back 'em.
guys for literally 15 years? You didn't say a
We
word.
didn't have a podcast then.
You didn't say a word. I live with you. You didn't say a word.
5 years old.
You did not say a word.
Oh, it's because I couldn't speak yet.
These guys are literally terrible.
Yeah.
I've literally known Tom for at least 5 to 7 years, and only 2 years ago is when I heard him talk.
liar.
2 years ago when I knew he knew about football. So I don't know. This whole time I thought he was like doing like gardening, landscaping. He never spoke about football.
Jeremy said,
never spoke
where's
about
Samuel? I
football.
didn't hear a word from
20
him.
years ago, he decided to say shit.
I'm in primary school playing soccer on the oval. He said, where's Samuel? I don't know where he is.
Tom, I didn't even know he knew anything about football until 2 years ago. He goes, "Oh yeah, Liverpool
You're a
played good on the
liar."
weekend."
To be
I was like, "What?"
They were mumbling a bit when Suarez was like doing a little bit of stuff.
Yeah.
And then it went back down.
For 4 years, they've never heard of him.
When it comes to Spurs, yeah, are they a one-man team?
Absolutely.
But they started. Not gonna lie,
Yes.
they started well. They were defensively. They're the defensive block. Harry Kane playing center defensive attacking midfield. Like, he was playing deep right next to Højbjerg. He was scoring goals and assists and doing bits.
Question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
When they were good, would you have said they're going to finish 7th?
Nah, I wouldn't have
No
said that.
way,
But I
not
was
a chance
hoping
in hell.
for
They
them.
were first. They were first in December.
First.
Not
Would
a
you
chance
say
in hell.
7th?
No, top 4.
That has
I
to
would
be
have thought top
minimum.
4.
Yeah.
I never ever thought they were going to win the league, but I did think top 4 was
I thought they were-
cemented with
I was
Mourinho.
panicking. I was panicking.
I thought they were contenders. I'm not going to lie, but 7th.
Also, like their squad. Okay, let's analyze their squad.
But they have one defensive player, Højbjerg, and then they set up in a defensive block.
But
Almost.
their squad is
No,
too
Scruff.
good for them to be
Yeah.
7th.
Scruff.
It is
Harry Kane was playing center defensive.
That's
attacking
exactly what I
midfield.
mean.
So they got 2 defensive.
They had Ndombele playing 6.
Ndombele, 50 mil Ndombele, who's a good player. Almost
Facts.
great, good player.
I rate him.
What? Nothing. No one's going to say anything?
Or even Bale came. Oh, not Bale's overrated.
But what are your thoughts, man?
These guys, right? They made the what was it?
Champions League final, wasn't it?
No,
Was
League
it,
Cup.
Was it?
League Cup.
Yeah.
And then they get rid of
That's dumb.
Mourinho the week of the final, who is like very good when it comes to big games, and they bring Mason Ryan or whatever. What's going on, bro?
It's Ryan Mason.
Same thing.
right.
Willie Mason.
How can you? That's disrespectful.
That's really amazing.
And the thing is, they had to pay out Mourinho. So why don't you just pay him at the end of the week after the thing?
Wait. The biggest howler is that Pochettino is going back.
Apparently.
That's a
he's linked.
howler. That is an absolute howler.
Yeah.
Bro, he
Right.
can walk in and say whatever he wants now, and they'll be like, yes.
But he went to a one league, a
on,
one team
with the
league and
league.
didn't win.
He's a serial loser. He's a loser.
Yeah, he's
No, but
How
yeah.
can you go have Mbappe and Neymar in your team? You go to a league where no other team even has a chance of winning and you lose the league.
He's got drip,
How?
but he's drippy.
You think he's drippy?
He's trying to copy, what's his name? Simeone.
Yeah, you think
That's
so?
not working. Simeone wins.
Yeah.
Serial winner over there.
Yeah, sir. He's a
Before we
winner.
move on, my disappointment. What wages is he on? 350 bags, signs a new contract.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Bring it
Can't
back.
sign a new contract.
it back.
This is back to Arsenal. But
This
this
is exactly where I wanna be.
I'm trying to get away.
Yep.
He
That's
even
not
had,
Arsenal
he even
distract. I'm
had
still
braids
vexed.
one game.
That's a violation. Bro.
Yeah.
Wait, them braids?
Braids should never start here. Never. Never braids should start here.
That's if Mane got braids. That's what it looked like.
What's his name?
His hair was this long, and the next day his braids were this long.
Somehow he was running and it was hitting his nipple with his braids.
Didn't what's his name get braids as well? In that movie, Alien vs Predator. That guy had braids as well. What? The alien, he had Predator. Which one?
Predator?
He had braids.
He had dreads, bro.
back to football, yeah.
That is Jamaican, cuz.
That's Jay Crowder.
Who does an alien's braids?
Back to football. Back to football. Basically,
Did he pay for
Hey.
a walking?
Predator's got a lady that.
Here's Auntie Juliet's house. Predator. Auntie Juliet.
What do you do? Civic. If you went to Auntie Juliet, Brendan's just in there. Hey, Auntie, can you braid my hair?
Yo, crowd.
Brendan, come sit down.
Oh my
Yo, crowd, this is too funny, yeah?
No.
But back to football. Back to football.
The most violent being in the galaxy just getting his hair braided.
He's still crying.
He calls it on the phone. He says, "Yo, I'm coming in."
Auntie,
You see this?
your auntie.
She wouldn't even notice as well.
They'd be like, yeah.
Crowd,
Yo,
these guys are
Just make sure he has
crying.
cash.
Yeah. You got cash? Yeah,
They're
no
probably like,
worry.
yo, this guy watches too much TV. It's too close to the TV.
She's telling your son, don't be like this guy.
Oh my days. Back to football, yeah. Aubameyang, you can't sign the big contract. No, Arsenal does this though. Every player that signs a big contract with Arsenal, it gets peak for them.
To be honest-
Walcott did the same thing as well.
Walcott somehow got braids as well
Ozil.
one time.
Ozil did it.
the
Now
same. They just go missing.
No.
Aubameyang's
To be honest, you guys did pressure him into signing it. Sign the thing.
Sign the team.
Yeah.
that's
This guy probably didn't want to sign it. Like,
Sign the team.
yeah.
But I just have to say that, man, Aubameyang, you disappointed many men.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
And especially how he finished last year. He was unstoppable. There was times where I'm looking at him like, this guy is not a great player, but he is scoring these goals against City,
Cutting
dinking
on
the
them.
keeper, cutting in. Like, I had no idea how he was doing it,
That was against Chelsea, yeah.
but yeah,
He's a
far
goal
out.
scorer.
Yeah.
Except for this year.
What we saying, Michael? What we saying?
All right, who is our manager of the season?
Your crowd.
Oh, manager.
Big one.
I got one. I'll
I
go
said
first.
this in mid-season review, and you guys laughed at me.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly,
It's
man,
Pep. It has to be.
I've got the same answer.
It has
Pep.
to be Pep. You said
I agreed with you. I didn't agree.
No, we picked Rodgers.
We all picked different ones,
I
but
picked Moyes.
Samuel tried to put you on blast and
I
I
did.
backed you.
Honestly,
It has
I
to be
did.
Pep.
That's why I
it has to
came.
be.
I came with the answer and apologies today.
Can't shore up that defense. Like the problem the season before was the defense was sticky. Now solid.
That's
I don't
I
think
think
it's ever
It
been
was
sticky.
bro.
For
It was
me-
leaking goals.
For me,
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
if you look at what the expectation was, where they were last year and where they are now, it has to be Moyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I picked him mid-season review. I'm backing Moyes again.
Did you?
today.
Shit,
I think
man.
it's between
Good
those
for you.
two, for sure.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
he
it's
did
more
not.
impressive what Moyes done
MJ didn't pick Moyes.
for mid-season.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he had
No, he had Brendan Rodgers.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He picked Dean Smith.
Yeah, he picked Dean
Did I
Smith. That's
pick
the
Dean
difference. Howler.
Yo,
Same jersey.
No, I got you,
Same
don't worry.
jersey.
get this guy.
Yeah, you'd had Dean Smith.
I'm gonna go with Moyes.
I predicted this shit. Yeah, Moyes definitely. I think they finished 17th
Yeah, they were close to getting relegated.
or 16th
Very close.
because Aston Villa were
Mhm.
one place above, and 5th, Europe secured with an awful team, like a team that is absolutely awful.
And usually when a team does that well, their players get rated so high that they're rated as good. Their players got lifted
Yeah.
from awful to
No
average.
one's poaching their players except for
No,
Declan Rice.
yeah.
For some reason.
United might sign
Jackers.
Suchek.
But yeah,
but
no
ask
one's
this
signing
question, right?
Kufal.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I'm gonna ask you this question, right? The West Ham finished above shit Spurs,
hmm
Arsenal,
Everton,
Everton.
Wolves.
Wolves.
Leeds.
I would have said Wolves would have finished above, and I would have
Villa.
said Leeds would have finished above.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If they finished above those teams, right? Are we gonna say anybody played good football this season apart from Man City and that? Them lot there?
I think Leicester at times were
Leicester
quite
were
good.
decent.
Leeds quite
Leeds
good.
played good
You all
football.
argue how
Leeds was-
football
There were
is
at
shit.
times
Leeds
Villa
was
were,
entertaining.
Villa were very good to watch at times as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, when Villa beat Arsenal at
was
Emirates,
Jack.
they played mad. But then when we played them again, they were shit. So maybe they were just up and down.
Mm.
You guys have all said
Brighton,
Yeah, Brighton were nice.
you guys have
At the
all
start.
said that the football that's been played in the Prem is shit.
it's awful. I hate the Prem.
Awful. So if everybody's playing awful football, yeah, but the one team that's playing this football at a top level, and they improve on last season, and they play nice football, they show up that defense. For me, that has to be manager of the season.
I agree, man. That's why I
Yeah.
picked Pep.
Fair point.
Because West Ham, yeah, they did well. They exceeded expectations. But you're saying that they play shit football.
Yeah, they
saying
did.
everybody else plays shit football. They were just they were the best out of a bad bunch.
I feel like when your expectation is winning the league and you meet that expectation,
Yeah, it's different.
it's different than avoiding relegation and finishing it extremely high.
in Europe.
But I think definitely if you have to finish first and you finish first, I think that
It's mad,
Sure.
but you did what you were supposed to
But
do.
you deserve the
Those
praise,
are the
though.
objectives at that club. I don't think the objectives at West Ham were to finish even in the top 10. Maybe it was 10th. Maybe it was a top half finish, maybe at a stretch. But they went from 16th to 5th. Like, they're in Europe now. Europa League for West Ham is good.
I'm gonna ask you this question:
Like, extremely good.
Who do you think was manager of the season last year? Who won the award last year? Who do we think was manager of the season last
Klopp won it.
I think it was Klopp.
Klopp?
Yeah.
Why did Klopp win it?
Because we were the most dominant team in the league.
All right, bet. So
But
why
they
was,
weren't the most dominant.
But check this: Sheffield last season. They did bits. They did what West Ham are doing, but no one's chatting about Sheffield manager being manager.
Yeah,
of the
they
season.
no people
You're
were.
right,
No,
man.
people were.
He was one of the
But who ended
candidates.
up winning it?
Yeah.
Klopp.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No,
I
but
agree to that.
I
Bit of a
think
difference
I
season
don't
there.
think I think it is a bit different because Sheffield finished 9th or 8th. They didn't qualify for Europe. Yes, they just
They were
sit coming
newly
up
promoted.
and getting promoted, but Leeds did that this year.
Yeah.
Leeds got promoted this year and finished top half.
And I think
So-
Bielsa's definitely a shout for it as well. But
Well, yeah, he's been nominated, hasn't
yeah,
he?
but to the extent of Moyes, no, and obviously
I
Guardiola.
would put Pep top 3 managers, but I just think expectations is how I'm trying to judge them for this specific thing.
Yeah, but
If it's a Europe maybe award where it's like the objectives are bigger and it's like you take into account how they play football, this shit from like the top tier managers, then maybe. But I just think the expectations for West Ham were so low and they finished so high.
Then to add to that, do you think
But if you say Pep, I'm not angry.
Yeah.
Moyes is now underappreciated as a manager?
No.
No.
Moyes had his time in the past.
He went Man
Yeah.
United.
Even before that.
Do you think
Everton-
that stint at Man United has
Hindered him. He shouldn't have gone Man United.
it's completely?
I don't think
No.
he,
He
He
managed
can't be a
big
top
no, no.
manager for you guys anymore?
I don't think he ever was or will be a top manager.
I agree.
You can't
But he
manage
was,
big
he
egos.
was a decent manager.
Yeah.
But he took a lot of
He was like a 6
average
to
Everton
10.
teams
Yeah,
to
that's-
decent finishes in the league.
I think that's what he's
He's now
good at.
taken a very average West Ham team to a decent finish in the
think that's
league.
what he's good at.
But on the flip side coin of that, the managers get overlooked when their expectation is to finish first in a competitive league like the Premier League, and then they finish
Possibly.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so.
I think they do.
And that's maybe why I see Guardiola is here, because consistently he's always here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good shout. Yeah.
Bet.
Well done, man.
Move.
Well done.
All right. What are we saying for play of the season?
I think it's
I think it's obvious.
pretty
Unanimous.
plain, simple.
It is, but
We're saying
I'm
it's
not happy about it.
It's
Harry,
yeah.
Has to be.
Jebediah.
Top goal scorer.
How's that, baby?
Is that actually his
I
middle name?
really expected people to say KDB.
I'm not
I
happy
expected
about
that.
this
I'm saying
Kane
Kane,
thing.
bro. You
It is
can't deny
Kane,
it.
but I'm not happy about it.
Top-
Do you know what it's like?
Top assister and
It's
goal
like when
scorer.
Westbrook won MVP because he just got
For a
triple
team.
doubles. It's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
The team didn't do anything. The team was a nothing team. They were shit to watch, but this guy was just stat padding. Oh, let
Nah,
me play.
it's
Let
not.
me play a
It's
little.
not. It's not.
Let me play a little
It's not.
square to
It's
Son.
not stat.
Bro,
It's
let
not
me
stat padding. That's not true.
Let me little set up to
That's not
Son.
true.
Let me drop him next to, in midfield
It's
next to
not true.
Højbjerg, get a little tackle.
It's not true. I think
It's a nothing season.
I think performing for a team that's
No.
performing way below par, and he's still scoring, still assisting
But he does it every
at
year.
a high clip.
Yeah, he's
no
meant to.
way.
Yeah, but he. Right, check this right. You saying KDB, yeah? You take
No,
KDB,
no, I'm saying I thought KDB would be somebody some of us would consider.
You take KDB out of City,
Yeah.
or you take Kane out of Tottenham.
They're getting
Who
relegated.
suffers most?
Tottenham.
Tottenham, but they have a worse squad than City.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's so valuable to that squad.
Yeah,
he
Yeah,
is
but-
extremely
His
valuable.
output is mental. It's not like he's just not playing good football either. He's got the
That's like
football
a
side of
MV
things.
That's like a importance argument to their
that's
team.
what it is. It's an
That
important-
doesn't mean you're the best player in the league. That's just an importance
I
to
get
your
what
team.
you're saying. I think importance does come into it though.
It's a factor, isn't it?
If
You're
you're
saying it's not most valuable player, it's best player.
it's best
I'm,
player.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Most valuable player, I think, is different to being the best player. Because
Yeah.
your team can have 10 best players in your team, but one team might have one. And if you take that player out, that team is considerably
Yeah, but-
worse. But the level could be way higher in this team.
I
I'm
agree.
not saying that's the case, but I'm saying that's the difference
But
between
then
most
what's your
valuable.
argument to who do you think deserves the award?
I've got Kane as mine.
Oh,
I'm just not
okay.
happy about it.
So
Why?
who would you be happy with?
I don't know, to be honest. I think somebody who really made the difference to their team, improved them. And I always think that there has to be some sort of success. Like, it just makes it better. So I would have put Ruben Diaz
He was second
as
for
my
me.
player of the year, but only because they won the league. And that was the area where they needed to improve the most.
You think City
and he
don't
did
win
that.
the league?
I don't know
without
if they
him?
do.
But do you think Laporte and Stones can do the same thing?
Well, they had that option, so I'm not sure. But they obviously didn't
Yeah,
think they
true.
could.
And they've done it before.
I don't know. I have put Kane though as mine, but it's
I
just a
think-
bit of a nothing thing for
No,
me.
I don't
like
think
he's
it is.
mad, obviously.
Because the thing is, if Harry Kane goes to a big club, everyone is so scared. You're so
Like if he
scared
goes
of
to City,
facing.
It's game over.
You're so scared of facing a team.
But
with
I also
Harry
never
Kane.
watch Harry Kane and think he is the best striker, whereas I think some of you guys think he's the best striker. So I understand.
I don't think
I
he
just
is.
don't watch him and think
But-
this guy is unbelievable. I think
but
he's a great goal
I
scorer.
think before every game, I think he's gonna score.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too.
I think he is an absolutely
goal
great
threat.
goal scorer and finisher. He is amazing. Like
I think he's a complete.
possibly the best 9 in the league at finishing. But I don't watch him and think all round he's an amazing.
then
player.
again-
I
then
think
again-
he's complete right
think
now.
he's very
good.
all
complete.
round.
Yeah.
he's-
I
never
think
used
he's
to be.
complete, but I
Never
don't
used
think
to
he's
be.
tiers.
He's got the most
Like, I don't
assists in
think
the
he's
league.
levels.
And that's not even like crossing assists, like corners or free kicks assists.
Like, way
That's
to
him
pass.
receiving the ball deep and playing Son in
Through
behind.
balls,
Like
Yeah.
through ball, way to pass.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's become a complete forward. Like he's
Yeah,
not
I
just a
think
goal
so.
scorer now. It's like he can create.
Yeah.
He can play from deep.
He play CDM.
And he's
It's-
So
consistent.
it's like I'm impressed.
He hasn't won the award before, so I think it's like it's the perfect time for
I
him
think
to
he
win
will
the
win.
award.
How many goals did he have?
20.
He's
How
English
many
as well.
assists did he have?
No, he had
13.
23 or 24
Oh,
goals.
did he?
has
Nah,
every
23.
team.
He scored on the
20
last day.
20,
Yeah, he scored on the last day.
23,
yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
it was
And
tied
13
before the last
assists.
game.
Yeah.
Salah had 22, he had 23.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on Bruno Fernandez this season?
I reckon a good,
Good.
season.
His impact on United has been very good.
Good season.
Yeah,
A good season.
Yeah.
Man.
I think
we
he's
can't-
changed that team.
Samuel, what are you saying? Chat to us.
Less goals from open play than Joe Willock.
I think anyone that scores 17 goals from midfield has a good season, no matter how they get it.
It's a good season.
Good for him. I don't think he's a good player, but he's had a good season. That's possible. No, I don't think he's a good player, but I think he's had a good season.
I think to do
I think-
that, he's a good player.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
And it's
I
like
think he's performed way above what he is as a player. He's performed well in a system that suits him perfectly. A system that gives him all the license that any player could ever have. He has it in that team. And I think
More so than Messi and Barca.
I feel like no, obviously Messi, not
Obviously
Messi,
no.
not Messi now, right now because he doesn't run. But before, at his best, I think Bruno has more license. I think Messi was doing a lot more. Obviously,
I'm saying right now.
yeah, right now then no, but in the Premier League he has more license than anyone. He's allowed to give away the ball countless times. He's allowed to not defend. He's allowed to stay next to the striker, plays almost a second striker. So the goals are happening for him.
Is that true though? Are we saying that?
I'm not landing
I
that
think-
because
What
he
part of it?
works, man.
Yeah, because I feel
And
like
he's a
got
leader.
He works when
decent
it's in
work
front of him. He's never ever working back like a real midfielder ever.
the thing is, I'm going to ask you this question because you've said this multiple times. But if I'm manager of Man United, and I know that his best trait is staying in between the lines and getting the ball on the counter attack. Like I remember when Pep went to Bayern Munich, Robben and Ribéry were tracking back. He goes, "Don't track back. Just hug the touchline and stay high. Force their left and right back. That's a tactic. How can you fault him for following instructions?
I feel like a forward, but then why are we comparing him to midfielders
He
as
plays
much as
centre
we
mid. He
do?
plays attacking midfield.
Yeah, but if your midfielder's not defending, then you're not really a midfielder.
I mean, attacking
But
midfield.
how much? What's
I think every single
Most
attacking
now.
midfielder in the world right now defends, except for obviously Messi
defends in what way?
and Bruno
Just
Fernandez
drops back.
are getting behind the ball.
I think he
working
does
hard.
that.
No, he
I
doesn't.
feel like he does,
Does
that.
I think he does.
He
It's like it's
doesn't.
not notable to be like, yo, this guy doesn't get back.
Of course, it's noticeable.
I don't look at
I don't
United
look
and
at
be
it
like,
like
yo, this guy's not getting
I
back.
see my man walking, just losing the ball,
Yeah.
just not walking, not running back.
He does that, but not every change of possession.
I just think that he's afforded so much license, and though, which is good for him, he's done well to capitalize on the system and the way they set up, and he's done well to score 17 goals, and he has good set piece deliveries, and he's good at taking pens. But as a player, no chance for me.
Do you
Bruno-
think Man United coming second is mostly because of him?
I think he's had a good impact based off those things.
I think so as well.
I think it has a massive impact.
Yeah, I think he came into that United team at the perfect time, and he's just doing exactly what that team needed. They had no one who was driving them forward, being the person to take on the responsibility because Pogba wasn't playing or he was out of form. He comes into that team, and as soon as he comes in, they're pretty good. Like they're not great, they're all right, but they're coming second.
They're definitely overachieved.
Without him, they're not
as well.
coming second.
Yeah.
I think they're
sure.
overachieved.
Because at the start of the season, were they performing?
Let's look at their players. De
It's
Gea,
a good squad.
he shouldn't
man.
be starting.
De Gea's still a good
Dean Henderson's
keeper.
Good.
Better goalkeeper than him.
Yeah.
So then they've got two good
Yeah,
goalkeepers.
two good goalkeepers. Right back, Wan-Bissaka, good defensively. But
Wan-Bissaka is one of
Very
the
good
best
player.
right backs in the Premier League.
He has to be named. one of the
Lindelof
best.
by a suspect.
But Harry Maguire, 80 mil.
Fridge can't turn.
Yeah, but he's had a good
fine
season.
defender, fine leader for them.
Yeah,
Luke
80
Shaw's
mil
probably
also.
been-
The best left back
He's
this year.
probably been their best
He's been
player.
good.
Yeah.
But then you look at their midfield, they're
I hate
confused.
Yeah.
What do you mean confused? They just finished second.
No, but again, we're saying this league has been.
They didn't.
Yeah,
lo-
but they
they
finished
also
second.
they didn't lose an away game as well all year.
Yeah, that's
Sheesh.
very good.
When you say like Fred, what's his name? Scott.
Fred was
Mack.
50 mil. Everyone forgets Fred was 50 mil.
I think that squad's overperforming for second.
But they've got,
But they've got
Donny
players
van der
like
Beek,
Pogba playing out of position, Van der Beek, who they
Pogba.
just signed, out of not playing at all. They've
Mason
got
Greenwood,
people like Rashford,
Rashford.
who's meant to be sick. They got Martial, who's not performing at all, and people just forget about him.
he's
You know what I
he's
think?
not it.
Cavani with more goals than Firmino.
Good for Edison Cavani, honestly. Good for you.
I think
I said it
Ola Gola Sanchez.
right again.
I think Ola Gola Sanchez was
What? Wait, whoa. What?
their coach. Ola Gola Sanchez. I feel like this is what he did. I feel like he didn't want to sign Van der Beek, right? And it was just like, this is a big F you to the club. Like, I'm not playing this guy. Like, I think he wanted more of a say of like who they sign, and that was like a statement. So I don't think he doesn't rate him. I think he probably rates him. I think he's just like, I'm not playing you because these guys F me up. So
Don't let your dad see you giving the finger to the camera.
oh, it was this one. But yeah. Also, another thing. Does anyone know like how Pogba gets injured?
Remember what you said tonight? What does he do?
Man, Pogba, bro.
Bro, he disappears for three months.
Telling you.
Doesn't post anything. It's not even like, hey guys, like I've just sustained a 2 months injury. Love United. Nothing like that. It's just he just disappears, and then United 2 months later will be like, oh, he's coming back next week, and everyone's like, yo, what's happened to this guy?
Then I said Pogba gave himself surgery.
He said this man gives himself surgery.
Yeah,
Your crowd.
I think he's got a doctor that forges his stuff, which is illegal. But I guess if you got that much money talks, eh?
But yeah,
Money talk.
Bruno Fernandez, overachieved in my opinion. Man United, I think they achieved what they should have achieved, in my opinion. With Liverpool not being there, I think they've achieved what they
They
would've been.
overachieved.
I think so as well. Big time.
I think Bruno can win World Cup, Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao, Euros, all in 1 year, and Sammy will be like, nah. This guy's still
He's not good.
Yeah, not yet. Like, amazing season, just not good yet.
I just you guys just
And then
cap, but
this
that's
guy
okay.
voted. He told me he voted for Modric for
Why would I
No.
vote for Modric?
He voted.
Ever.
I don't even know how you can vote. He just said, "Yeah, I voted."
Nah,
Like,
I would
he was
never
like-
have voted for
Samuel
Modric.
was like, "Yo, bud, you vote?" I was like, "You mean for Australian election?" He's like, "Nah,
Just
bro."
make these stories.
UEFA. I was like,
I don't understand it.
Bro,
Does
this-
Bud?
hold on,
is this
hold on,
true?
hold on.
Does Bud at night?
One sec,
he's
one
laying
sec.
there like this.
One
He's
sec.
laying there like this. Starts writing down a fake
I don't
story.
write. He's got a big pull down whiteboard, and it's like got all of these like myths.
He's
Samuel
got
was
these
like-
stories.
Samuel was like, "Yo, did you vote?" I was like, you know, like in shows where like the question marks pop up. That was my head. I was like, "What is he talking about? Maybe Australian election or something." And then they're like, "No, UEFA stuff." I was like, "No." Like, yeah, I voted for thing.
Oh my.
What's his name again?
Hey,
What
what does that have to do with anything?
And you're allowed to cut him off.
Let's just keep this moving. No,
Yeah.
'cause
Can we turn Bud's mic
I
off?
always feel like there's some captivating point that's coming through, and it
never
like,
comes.
Like the dreads
Pause.
comment.
Big pause, Tom. Big pause.
Yo, man, keep
Yo, big
Oh
pause.
my god! All right, who was the biggest flop this season as a player? Who
Signing?
was anything?
Oh,
Flop signing.
can I please start on this one?
Let's go, man.
All right. So my biggest flop is a bit of a duo.
Oh, here we
It's a bit of a duo. A duo flop.
Jeez.
Kai Havertz and Timo Werner.
I've got Timo Werner.
Nice.
The biggest
Timo.
flops
Timo-
in the Premier League this season. Do you want to hear? Timo Werner signed for 50 mil. Kai Havertz signed for 75 mil. Yep. Timo Werner, 35 games started.
Oh
6
my
goals,
God.
8 assists.
35 games.
Yep.
Started.
He
Yep.
started
Yikes.
bare games.
And then Kai Havertz, 4 goals, 3 assists in 27 games. Do you guys remember the most slanted player last season? Do you remember who he was?
Slanted.
Slated, not angled. The most
Pepe.
slated player
Pepe.
last
What?
season?
Who?
Pepe.
Pepe.
Oh, yeah.
Scored more goals and had more assists than Havertz last season. So, really, these two underperformed big time, flopped big time. Do you have anything to say over there?
Whoa. Yes, I do.
Tell me. Go for it.
We'll just wait until next year, actually,
Why?
because
We're
What's
talking
his-
about this season and
Yeah,
then flopping this
okay.
season.
when what's his name signed for Liverpool, did you guys win anything in the first 4 years? No.
Who?
What's his name?
Klopp.
In the first 4.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Give him time, bro. Relax.
I'm not talking about Tuchel.
Yeah, but I'm talking about giving a player a season to adjust to a league. Judge him on the second year.
No,
No, no,
go-
no, no,
what?
no, 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 no,
Other
no.
players don't get a chance.
Stop. I can't let Timo Werner, whatever. I can't even pronounce his name. I don't even know if it's Werner or Werner.
Oh, I'll correct you.
Wiener.
Champions League winner.
Brush your teeth.
Go now. Start now.
Brush your teeth.
No, start now. Go. Champions
teeth.
League winner. Start.
I
Talk.
can't. It's not like he's playing awful. He's.
I think he's playing
He's
awful.
playing. He's playing
Bad.
awful, but like he's getting in good positions,
That's what I mean.
and
Mo-
he's just.
Most missed chances, most offsides
That's
in
what
the
I
Premier
mean,
League
like-
this season.
I had him as well as to score 20 league goals. And I had
think
him
most
as
people
my
did.
first pick in my fantasy team. So I honestly thought he was going to come and just score.
Especially his
in
playing
his
style.
first season.
Like, I thought direct.
easy, yeah,
Like,
easy.
that was the player
Easy
Chelsea
goals.
needed. This guy was just going to score. I didn't even think he was that good of a player, but in behind, just play like Vardy, essentially, just score goals.
Yeah.
You expected him to get 20 goals in his first
Yeah,
season.
bro.
To make
Aubameyang-
things-
what did
did.
Aubameyang do? What did Pierre Aubameyang? What did he do?
What did-
Come on, chat to me now.
Yeah, he's not a UEFA Champions League winner, bro.
And to make things
Doesn't
worse, you guys benched Tammy, who scored 13 goals last
14,
season.
I think.
14 goals last season for this guy who can't
And
even finish a
Giroud.
one-on-one.
Who offers way more to your
So
team
he's
than
flopping big time.
The thing is, everyone knows Werner has more potential than these other two that you've just named.
I don't know.
Does he have more
Havertz
potential
has
than
I
more
think it's
potential than
worth
Werner,
the
for
wait. It's
sure.
worth the wait because we didn't have a shit season.
Yeah, you didn't.
True.
We made top 4. We won Champions
We're talking
League.
about individual.
We made FA Cup final.
I got a couple players. Don't worry.
No,
So I'm just saying, like, as in, you guys know he's better than this. So
what the fuck?
next year, if he has the exact same
No, I
season,
don't know he's better than this.
Is
I
he
know
though?
he's
I don't
NPL
know. I don't
caliber.
think everyone knows.
No,
Werner
I
has
think-
more potential
I
than
think
this.
Werner can score more goals than he is right
Yeah,
now
I
because his
agree.
finishing has been woeful.
His finishing
But-
was decent.
But him as a player is
17.
not better than what he is right now. He is not
True.
a better player than
How
what,
can you
what
not
he's
be
doing
better
right now.
and score? Expect him to score more.
All right, I'll chat to you this.
Yeah.
When Aubameyang doesn't score goals,
Yep.
he's horrendous.
It's not a bum.
He's horrendous.
You guys don't
if
say
Werner doesn't
Aubameyang.
score goals, he's horrendous.
When Bruno Fernandez doesn't score goals, he is horrendous, especially in the
I made a
big games.
mistake. I'm sorry. I didn't have Moyes as my manager of the season. I had Tuchel.
Same. I had Tuchel as well.
Yeah. I completely forgot. I wrote down Tuchel.
All right, there we go.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is a good pick.
Pretty good.
All right, the players I'm picking, Sadio Mane is just.
I thought it was a new signing, but I was
Werner's obviously it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
He's
and
obviously
Havertz.
number one. But I think for me, Mane has been the guy. A guy that I rate in the Premier League, a guy that I think's been incredible. So I think just his accelerated drop in form and just the way he's been playing some games, I was like, what?
Super
happened?
alarming.
Yeah,
Super
what
alarming.
happened to this guy? Because his level the season before was unreal. So the fact that, the kind of performances, I was like, wow.
And because there's no real explanation for it.
No.
That's the most worrying thing.
There was. I stated it. I won't go back into it. There was.
I had a go at Salah in the mid-season review, and I think I apologise, Mo. Your performances weren't great, but goal-scoring ability, you kept us in this season. You kept us in the top 4 single-handedly. So, thank you.
All right, just to
what's the
recap,
final?
who's everybody's flop for this season?
Werner.
Werner.
Werner/Havertz.
What are you saying, bud?
Mane.
Sadio for me.
What? Aubameyang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good shout.
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang, see, Denies put Aubameyang as his flop and he still scored, I think, 8 or 9.
I expect more from him.
No, I know. I'm just saying that Werner
Mane scored 10.
is a big drop off.
Sadio Mane scored... 11. Mane scored 11 goals this season.
Probably started 38 games.
No, not 38. Remember the one he didn't start?
But
He didn't shake Klopp's hand. You don't remember that game? Against Man U?
And he didn't high five him at the end of the.
Yeah, he didn't give him a hug.
Is he out?
Mane's
Do you reckon
cold, bro.
Mane's out the door?
Apparently not.
I think they'll both stay.
Yeah,
I think
apparently
all our front three will stay now.
You need to not have that other one in the middle. That's for sure.
Why?
You need to
Thiago.
No. What?
I need to look at what I put
This is
down for the other one.
nonsense.
Firmino cannot be at your club next season.
Why?
You need a better striker than that.
Yeah, you're right. We need a striker who's
Yeah, you're right.
who's at least scoring double
You need a better
digits.
striker than that.
At least.
Oh, we have one on the bench who can. Jota.
Shaqiri.
All right, who would we say is our young player for the season?
Mount. Mine's Mount.
Of course it is.
You know what? I'm gonna have to co-sign that.
Mason Mount has been better this season than Ruben Diaz? No way in hell.
Young player.
Ruben Diaz is 24, isn't it?
No.
23,
23.
22 or
Ooh.
Oh, is
23.
he 22?
I think so. He's 22.
No, he's 3.
He's
I'm
3
actually
years
being
old.
I think it has to be between Foden
And,
and
Ruben
Mount.
Diaz. Mount?
Ruben Diaz is 24 now, but he was 23 the whole
I
season.
didn't know that. I didn't realize how young he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how young he was.
By the way, Saka's ahead of Mount for me.
No, I think that's.
I have 2. My number 1 is Saka,
It's, it's
and my number 2 is Linker.
Guy's not young no more.
Lingardinho, baby.
Is it actually Saka?
Yeah. Mine's
I
Saka.
don't think
Okay.
Saka was consistent enough.
I think
That's
he
what
was.
I don't think Mount was consistent enough.
Yeah.
Mount-
Okay.
I think Mount was very
Mount had
consistent.
some
Mount
Mount
was
had
more
some good performances,
Yeah.
but he
Mount
didn't.
doesn't do it for me, personally.
Me, I
I think he's
Saka
bad.
was playing in like 4 different positions, and he was the best player in our team.
Mount has.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
I'm
That
saying
has
for a
something to
player,
do-
how good he was, Mount is playing and just being all right. Like
It's
for
not.
half
He's
the
not
games.
being all right.
There's games where you'll win, no one will say anything about Mount not performing, and then there's one game he'll perform, he'll play well, and then it's Mason Mount, unreal. He's been
Liverpool did the
amazing.
exact same thing
With who?
With who?
with Salah.
What? What the hell are you comparing Salah and Mason Mount?
I'm not
for?
comparing them to him. Saying you guys do that exact same stuff. You hype him up when they do real good in the game, and then slander him or slender him when he's underperforming.
I
or
didn't say
doesn't
you
score.
slandered.
literally
I didn't
just
say you.
said that.
I didn't
You
say you
see
slandered
the
Mason Mount.
half-season review.
I was saying that you guys don't say anything when Mason Mount is disappeared in lots of games.
Saka
But he
cops
doesn't
it when he doesn't play well.
Yeah.
as well.
Saka, because Arsenal rely on Saka,
Heavily.
he cops it when
That's their
when they
fans.
don't. No, Mason Mount.
No one else but Arsenal fans give it to Saka or any Arsenal
Nah,
player.
he gets it.
But from who?
I think
People
Saka's
who watch.
expected to perform now.
Yeah.
Saka
Only
is
by
expected.
Arsenal
No,
fans.
he's
No, he's
expected
expected
to
to
perform.
perform, yeah.
I think Arsenal is the most toxic club in the Premier League.
I honestly would not notice if Arsenal played Chelsea and Mount wasn't good, but I think people would know if Saka was shit in a game
Definitely.
against
They
Arsenal.
don't know how.
But it's only
young he is
because
either.
Arsenal's
And
toxic.
he's 4 years younger or
And let's
3
be
years
real,
younger
this
than
isn't
Mount.
even a conversation.
I
This
can, no,
one.
but Mount can be in the conversation. That's what I'm saying.
He can be in the
I can
conversation.
hear
Yeah.
Mount
Mount's
saying
Mount's
be
behind
in the
Foden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mount's behind Foden.
Mount's
Definitely.
behind Foden.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foden is.
What do you mean? Yeah, this guy said yeah and just said no. Was his player?
No, I was arguing you because you said Saka has been better than Mount this year, and I said no.
No, but you picked Mount as your player, but then now you just said Foden's ahead of him.
Yeah, on the thing.
What?
Mount is as good as Foden, but
No, no,
Foden
no,
is
no,
slightly
he's
better.
not.
It's cap.
Nah, he's
And
not.
Ruben Diaz is way ahead.
I think an obvious choice is Ruben Diaz.
Yes.
I just wanted to mix it up.
That is the obvious choice.
Yeah.
It's still Mount. I'm
over
ride or
over
die.
Foden.
I think Foden had a very good second half of the year.
Mm-hmm. Quick hype, little English ting.
Mm-hmm. But he's incredible.
Yeah.
Like
Quality
he's doing
of-
stuff at that age that pros can't do in their prime.
And English.
He's crazy good. I think this one's different. I know he is English, but I think he's deserving of the hype.
Jeremy, what are your
For
thoughts
sure.
on Phil Foden?
I think he's good. I think he's a good footballer. I honestly do think he's good. I'm not taking the piss. I think he's good. I just think he's a bit overrated. But I do think he's good. I think it's hard to it's easy to be like that guy's overrated because he is so young. But he's doing everything like the coach has asked of him. He fits into the City team without batting an eye. Like he doesn't look out of place at all. I just don't think he's like a generational talent. Well, I don't even know what that means, but I don't think he's like the best player in the world for his age or anything like that, which I think that's what a lot of people say. That's all.
How old is-
But I think
how old
he's
is
great.
Foden?
I think he's
20.
19 or 20, yeah.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
How old's Saka? 20?
18 to,
Oh,
yeah.
is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's young.
Yeah.
I think Saka's a 2002.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
That's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't think Phil could do what Saka did at Arsenal.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Different positions, obviously,
Exactly.
but the same sort of impact that Saka had at Arsenal. I don't think if you swap them,
Yeah.
I don't
You
think
saw
that he
how
would have the same
eased in
impact.
Foden was. He's been eased in for the last 3 years.
Last 20 minutes,
2
30
years.
minutes.
He's
Yeah.
been-
This game.
Yeah.
Come on when we're up 5-0.
Play
Come
with
on
De
when we're up
Bruyne and
4-0.
shit.
It's easy.
Fucking Saka's have to run onto balls from
Jacques.
Aubameyang's first touch. Shaka.
It's like he was eased in, Foden. And with Mount played a whole season in the Championship, then came up and played in the Premier League, which is good for him, the transition, but it's way easier than just being thrown straight in.
And he just gets to play his position every game.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wherever he, Saka's playing left wing back one game, left wing, right wing, and you still expect him to be good in all of those positions.
Yo, why are you guys looking at me? I haven't said
Because you're the
a
only one
word.
backing Mount.
I'm just saying, Mount
I
has
think
been
Mount
better
is
than
good.
Saka
I think
this
Mount is
year.
I do like him.
Yeah.
Now. I just wouldn't put him as a youngster.
And you guys changing his formation is only down to your coach. No one else.
Changing his position.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But he played different positions under a different coach as well.
I hear that still.
All right, what's next? Is that it?
I think that's it, boys.
Wow, that's a long one.
Wow, that
Was there
Premier
another
League
one?
season.
Oh, shit. Yeah, shit.
EPL season's over.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
Arsenal are dead. We'll be back next year.
Mhm.
Thanks, crowd.
We going. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment.